Hi guys, Coach Nate here, and in today's lesson we are going to dive into some of the basic fundamental differences between the different Valorant maps. By the end of the video you should be able to understand some of the basic niches of each different map and also their similarities. This is the first step towards becoming the strategic genius we all wish we were. Since today's lesson is a strategic lesson, today's warm-up is going to be a challenge. I want you guys to try and find the fastest way from attacker's spawn to defender spawn on Icebox. There are many different ways to accomplish this task, but I challenge you guys to find the fastest way. Take about 3 minutes to do this. Let's start off with basic 3-lane maps. These maps are Ascent, Icebox, Pearl, Split, and Breeze. What makes each of these maps 3 lanes is the fact they all have give or take 3 main lanes, an A main, B main, and then a middle of the map that connects the two. These maps tend to be the most balanced in terms of attackers versus defenders sided. Generally, with these maps, the defenders have to deal with 2 main choke points, an A main or B main, and then a choke point that connects to the middle of the map. Now each map has its own differences. Ascent has 2 breakable doors, one on the A site and one on the B site. Icebox has horizontal ropes and is extremely open. Split has vertical ropes and feels tight and small in a lot of places. Pearl's mid is really close together and easy to take, but it's hard to actually then go into sight. And then finally, Breeze is the most wide open and has a tube running above the A site. These 3 lane maps are the most basic, but also the most important when it comes to developing basic strategic fundamentals. Whenever playing on them, try to utilize all lanes on the map on both sides. Next, we have our 2 3-site maps, Haven and Lotus. These maps have a 3rd site in the middle of the map, so instead of having a mid that allows you to rotate into one of the other 2 spike sites, there's this spike site on its own in the middle. Haven was the first of these 3-site maps, with its main gimmick being that fact. Lotus has 3 sites, but it also has 2 big rotating doors, one by the C side of the map and one by the A side of the map, which adds another layer of strategic depth. Both these maps have 2 sites with 2 main choke points, and then one site that really only has 1 main choke point. These maps put the defenders to the test as they have another site to worry about, so it's much harder to defend them properly all at the same time. When playing on these maps, try and figure out what the weak point of the map will be, because there will always be one weak point, and it's important to note this on both sides, so attacking you can exploit it and defending you can be aware of how to defend it. The last 2 maps in the game are 2-site maps, but what makes them different is that they do not have a middle portion of the map. These 2 maps are Fracture and Bind. Fracture is unique as each of the 2 main entry points into each site are on opposite sides of the map, the north and south side. Then Bind, which has teleporters in place of having a middle, which allows you to rotate quickly between the 2 sites. These maps put attackers' fundamentals to the test, as their small choke points makes it so that attackers have to properly push and pull the rotations of defenders, or else the defenders have a clear advantage when defending a site. Whenever you play these maps, it's important to recognize how many people are on each side of the map, as these maps often have quick methods of rotation onto the other side of the map. On top of their small choke points, it's important not to try and run it into any stacked sites. For the next 2 competitive matches you play, think about how you and the enemy team interact with the different choke points on the map. If you are on a 3-lane map, think about how you can best exploit and defend the middle of the map. If you are on a 3-site map, when you are attacking, think about which parts of the map will be the weakest, since there will always be a weak point for the defenders. When defending, try and identify this weak point and strengthen it, or make it so attackers don't want to go towards it. If you were on Bind or Fracture, think about where the defenders are and which site is the strongest at any given time, and how you can either strengthen if you're defending or weaken that site if you're attacking. It depends on obviously whether you're attacking or defending for all these maps, but being able to recognize the weaknesses and strengths of extremities is an important skill and will only aid you as you increase in rank. Once again, I'm Coach Nate, and today we went over some of the basic fundamental differences of the Valorant maps. Now, today we covered the very basics, but eventually we will be going into greater detail. But this is a great starting point. I challenge you guys to start thinking about how you interact with different parts of the map as you play Valorant. Be able to recognize both the differences and similarities between maps when interacting with them. It is an important skill to be able to recognize different situations that happen often. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.